and we welcome you to this great event, the Lessons of the Holocaust, Path to Justice, Equity in Higher Education. I want to thank you on behalf of Dr. Hubert King, our president. I'm Dr. Craig Wright, the Chief Diversity Officer for Nassau Community College, and I want to thank you all for coming to this conference. I hope that you engage, I hope that you learn, I hope that you share, I hope that you are inspired and encouraged, because it's through this conference, it is through this dialogue that we will have throughout today that we can stop the issues that are permeating through maybe DC or other places that are causing or giving permission for intolerance, for hate, for disrespect, for the words that the kids are saying, and then it metastasizes to the violence that the adults are doing. And so let us never forget, let us put a stop to it, and let us encourage hope. I thank you, and I want to thank Joyce Stern, for our chair, and welcome her.
Good morning, and welcome to the first Path to Justice Conference. Today's program will teach you about the lessons from the Holocaust through testimony, history, artifacts, and evidence. You will also learn strategies to use these lessons in preparing your students to recognize and challenge human rights violations, prejudice, racism, and insidious and harmful stereotypes. These lessons from the Holocaust should never be forgotten, so that similar atrocities may be prevented, so that our students know their rights and peaceful strategies available to defend them, so they may contribute to and come to enjoy a more just and equitable society. As I reflect upon this year's college theme, identity, I can't help but think back to the Holocaust and how identity was central to the Nazi-Aryan plan to create a master race. Single out a population that had been victimized throughout history, identify them, stereotype them, bully them, demonize them, and isolate them in preparation for destruction and annihilation. First, there were the compulsory yellow stars of David sewn onto the clothing of Jewish citizens throughout most of occupied Europe. Then there were the Nazi concentration camp badges, mandatory badges of shame. Primarily triangles of various colors, they were tacked to the tattered and striped prison uniforms to further classify and identify prisoners for work assignments and punishment. Finally, there were the indelible markings tattooed onto the limbs of prisoners at Auschwitz, which have become the symbol of brutality and the attempt by the Nazis to dehumanize their victims. This year's coming theme, education and freedom, further reminds me of how the Nazis abused the power of education in achieving their goals. As educators, we know firsthand the power of education in the quest for freedom. At NCC, our students will learn about its potential through our common reading, Laura Bates' memoir, Shakespeare Saved My Life, the story of a female professor and a maximum security prisoner, and how Shakespeare saved them both. Interestingly, Bates' parents were World War II refugees from Latvia in Eastern Europe and lost everything: home, possessions, friends, and family. One thing her mother taught her and her sister was the value of education. She said, "No one could ever take that from you." Before I introduce our keynote speaker today, I want to extend my gratitude to Dr. Craig Wright, Equity, Inclusion, and Affirmative Action Officer, Evangeline Harris, I don't know if she's back yet, but coming straight from Hawaii, Dean for Applied Learning, Civic Engagement, Military and Veteran Affairs, for their guidance, support, and funding for this event. And especially to the Holocaust Memorial and Tolerance Center, its staff and volunteers for their commitment to education and their collaboration on this initiative. To Beth, Lara, Deborah, and Marilyn. I also want to express my sincere appreciation to the members of my planning committee at NCC who have worked diligently and passionately, that's the word, passionately, for over a year, almost a year and a half, to plan this event. Susan Baganskis, Susan Cushman, Shannon Farrell-Leon II, Valerie Lagakis, Wendy Lowenfeld, Lynn Rossi, Alex Roberts. I hope I didn't leave anybody out. It is now my pleasure to introduce Beth, Ms. Beth Lilac, our keynote speaker, Senior Director of Education and Community Affairs at the Holocaust Memorial and Tolerance Center, and a long-standing friend of all of us at Nassau Community College.